I, de fet, la creació artística, però en tot cas l'enfoquem o la modelem d'una altra manera, un altre tipus de ficció. Els videojocs, que ens podem preguntar si són entreteniment, si són addicció, si és un cercle tancat que s'explica a si mateix o si és també una eina de coneixement i la possibilitat d'una adaptació dels videojocs a les sensibilitats, als desitjos de cada un dels usuaris perquè justament es vagin renovant a cada vegada que s'utilitzen. En Mateu Sbert és professor del Departament d'Informàtica i Matemàtica Aplicada de la UdG, és membre de l'Institut d'Informàtica i Aplicacions i cap del Laboratori de Gràfics i Imatge. I ara li demano que entri perquè ens faci la seva intervenció sobre això que us he explicat dels videojocs i la seva adaptabilitat.
Moltes gràcies. Moltes gràcies. I'm going to introduce you to my talk, Enhancement of Video Games Playing Experience through the use of non-photorealistic and artistic effects. Which is our motivation? Our motivation is how to increase the playability of a game. So imagine you've played a game, you like very much to play a game, you play it again and again, but then after some time you are bored because you are playing the same game. Then how can you play it again with a new playing experience? Also, video games are used for serious games. So for learning, how to adapt the learning experience to the capacities or to the tastes of users. So which solution are we proposing? We are proposing to change the rendering style, so to change to a non-photorealistic rendering, to change the visual language. We learn from artists, we learn from art, we learn from paintings, we learn from comics. Of course, we learn from all non-photorealistic work that has been done till now. And we use post-processing because with post-processing we can very easily integrate our effects on any game. And of course, we test with a serious game, with a cultural heritage game, with Legends of Girona game developed in-house by our laboratory. So which are the effects investigated? We investigate edge enhancement, which allow to focus on details. Texture simplification, which allow an increased level of abstraction. Shadow recoloring. In comics, some shadows are represented by flat black surfaces, and also artists use shadow recoloring to increase contrast. Depth sensation with varying abstraction level, and color palette modification by example. So first, I'm going to show some examples of edge enhancement. Here we see, for instance, on the left, the realistic rendering of the game. To the right, the edge enhancement using coloring of edges. You see that it gives an artistic enhancement. Here it is like a comic enhancement, so it's using just black and white for the edges and flat back shadows. And here is also an artistic enhancement using coloring of edges, but changing the depth, changing the thickness of the edge according to depth, so giving a depth impression. Now, what about texture simplification? We see again on the left the realistic representation, and on the right we see a quantization of luminance. Now we see a blur, so we blur the whole image, but we want to show details on the foreground, so we want to give a sensation of depth. How do we do it? Just simply blur more according to the depth. And now if we also add edge enhancement, we have the images on the right. Now we see a whole scene, a whole image of edge enhancement plus blurring. Now about shadow recoloring. Shadow recoloring, for instance, we have complementary colors, which artists use to enhance the contrast. We have, for instance, here also negative edges in shadows, also much used in comics. And here we have increased contrast and the black shadows, also used in comics. Now, what about depth sensation? We use saturation of color to give depth sensation. Here is uniform desaturation of colors, but we can change the desaturation of colors according to depth. For instance, here we have a smooth transitions. We are more interested in foreground, less interested in background, so we just desaturate the colors till reach gray level at the background. But we can be interested also in a given specific depth. We can focus in a specific depth level. So here we have this specific depth focused. Lastly, how we can just change the mood by using an image, the mood of the video game by using an image. We just use an example image. Here you see on the right, you see an image. And we have used the color palette of this image to change the rendering of the game. You see on the left the realistic rendering. On the right, you see how the mood has changed according to an image. Now you have here a sunset. And we have changed the rendering of the game according to this image. So you just capture the mood of this image on the game. So what is left? What is left? An in-depth evaluation by users. So which kind of effects give the more playability? So they give more enhanced playability. Also, our long-term desire is to be able, for instance, to have a Van Gogh painting and to render the game according to Van Gogh style, or that the user just chooses the painting or image they want and extract all artistic features, not only color palette of the painting or the image. So these are some references of the non-photorealistic work, and these are the acknowledgements of the projects that have allowed us to develop this. And now I'm going to show you a video that shows on our Legends of Girona game all these effects. Please, if you can just show the video. Thank you very much.
Gràcies, Mateu. Jo he apuntat una cosa que m'hi ha fet pensar, tu deies, si no he entès malament, el play it again, en el sentit, i a mi m'ha fet pensar en el play it again. Torna-la a tocar o torna-la a jugar.
Play it again, Sam.
Play it again, Sam, no? Amb el sentit que aquest tipus d'introducció permet un altre tipus d'escenari diferent, un altre joc, d'altra banda, no?
Sí, exacte, una nova... A mi se'm va acudir l'idea de reproduir, diguem-ne, de canviar el llenguatge visual, perquè sóc un fan d'en Tintín.
Sí.
I un cop...
Ja t'ho sabies tot, no?
Un cop m'havia llegit els 24 llibres, llavors, clar, és una llàstima, ja no n'hi havia més, però vaig veure que llegint-los en un altre idioma, doncs era, diguem-ne, el plaer de lectura tornava a ser gairebé el mateix. Llavors, clar, amb un videojoc no és el llenguatge parlat, però és el llenguatge visual. Si canviem el llenguatge visual, llavors el plaer de tornar-lo a jugar o l'experiència de tornar-lo a jugar possiblement tornarà a ser una experiència nova.
Play it again d'una altra manera.
Exacte, exacte.
Molt bé, Mateu, moltes gràcies.
Moltes gràcies a vosaltres.